channel, guys. We're been a while since I've really made a video. We've been take the camera with me, but we've just been so spread out and cut up lately that we haven't had enough to really make a decent video out of. It's been about the whole month of December and January seemed like meetings, and in between the meetings we'd work in the shop and just work on little things. We've done a lot of little things, but there's just, at least I don't know how to make a good video out of it, so kind of catch y'all up to speed on that. But right now we're going to hop in the backhoe here. We got to put a bale out for the cows back here. I guess that's one of the bigger projects that we did that I'm actually excited about. I don't know if you guys remember what this was like back here. The driveway's a mess because of this, but there used to be a building here. I tore that down as soon as I bought the farm, and then this was just a dirt lot last year, and it was always muddy. Well, it was before Christmas anyways. We poured the concrete in here, put this new fence up. Local supply store didn't have any gates, so I've got these bent ones that the hinges are messed up, so they're just tied up right now, but I want to get the gates on hinges so they swing right. And now we're feeding in the bale ring. I'll show you why I wanted to do this. The biggest reason for this lot was, well, concrete's always a good thing with cattle, and I wanted to feed out here because inside this bank barn, looks like I need to kick some straw down. It's got this big manger that runs down it, and we used to, with big square bales, we would dump them in from the other side with the skid loader. Now that we're doing round bales, I can't get a round bale between the ceiling and that side. And the other reason I didn't like was they always stood right here, and this barn was always sloppy and seemed like it went through a lot more bedding feeding in here. So we decided we'd pour concrete out there, feed out there, that way they're standing around, and try to keep the barn cleaner longer. And it has helped a lot. I set a round bale straw in that door the other day, and this end of the pen, I can throw it down from that hole there. Yeah, so next will be concrete in the barn floor, but I don't know when I'll do that. This has got a good gravel base in it, so it's not too bad to clean out with the skid loader. But I'm gonna get these girls shut in here, and then they push the bale ring over against the fence. Then we'll use the backhoe, move that back out, and I'll get a bale and set in there. Then from there we gotta take the backhoe. It's January 14th right now. The ground is thawed out. It's like 40 degrees already this morning. We're putting up a little building for my mom's animals, so up there where they logged, I've got to get a tree stump popped out of the ground. And I think today's gonna be a good day to do that while I'm not fighting the frost in the ground. But so that's one of the other things we've got going on. I'm not putting the building up. I would like to, but I just don't have time. We're getting somebody to put the shell up, and then I'll finish it out and do the concrete inside. And then from there, we gotta go to Kings down at West Liberty, get pellets. We gotta grind feed again for the steers. Gotta bed all the cattle up at the farm. And it's supposed to get kind of nasty tomorrow. Snow and rain and 40-mile-an-hour winds, and I do got some roof metal peeling on the barn. I ought to get the bucket truck fired up and go up there and fix that real quick before the wind rips it off. So that's what we've been up to. I'll put you down until I get in the backhoe. So I decided to wait till tonight to put the bale out. They've still got a little bit in their bale ring. If I wait till tonight, I'll be able to slide it over by hand to get it back where it belongs. It's hard with this backhoe. Bales are hard enough because the forks, they just hang on the bucket, so you can't really, you can move pallets and stuff, but they're not very handy to use. So I'll just wait until they eat all the hay in there. I can move that bale ring around by hand, and then I'll just dump the bale in tonight. So we're gonna head up and get that stump ripped out now. So I just had to push up a brush pile. Basically, the little building is going in here. It's just a 20 by 30. And this stump I've got to get popped out. And then probably have to pop that one out there for the, on the other side of the backhoe for the driveway I've got to cut in. But basically, my mom's got these 2 alpacas here. And she's got a Holstein cow, bred, and she's got her pet pig. She wants somewhere to put with it, but so that's what this building's for. We're wanting to the farm that's what a lot of our meetings have been about, is a big hog finishing barn to contract feed hogs. So for us to do that, that pet pig of my mom's that's over in the barn's can't be on the same farm for biosecurity reasons. So that's a big push to put this up. So, but we had this pasture. There's like a 10-acre pasture here of walnut trees. We had it logged because, well, walnut lumbers actually pays pretty decent, so we sold the logs. And I'm hoping, they always had good shade out here. I told them I didn't want them to take them all, which they did a good job of that, but I'm hoping that with a lot less trees in it, the grass will grow faster and we can get out there and fertilize it pretty easy, and then this pasture will last us longer. But yeah, so when we put the barn in, we're actually gonna run a water line and the electricity down here, and then I'm gonna pour a concrete pad out here in the pasture and actually put an electric water in this pasture. So that way we'll hopefully by next summer we have all automatic waters, and we're not standing around waiting on garden hose to fill a water tank, as we put one in back there and one in at the farm already this winter. So that's one of the guys we're building the barn for. So yep, I'm gonna get that stump popped out, and then I had to push this brush pile up, and I've got some net wrap in there from feeding bales. I'm gonna see if my mom's got a torch up at the house. If I can, I'll put the net wrap under that and see if I can get that to burn today. Here's the other stump I might have to pop out. Finally got it. Finally got it. Big reason I'm love to have a Tracto, because I spent a half hour on that. I could have done it in 5 minutes with a Tracto, because with this thing you got to dig all the way around it, try to break the roots, and then finally pop it up out of there. With the Tracto you could have just grabbed it, rolled it up out of there, but it went down about, I don't know, 3-4 foot. You got a pretty good sized hole. So now go ahead and drop that there for now, and I'll shove this back shut and could check, see how the fire's going. I almost brought the skid loader and grapple bucket over for this, but I didn't want this, got other things to do today. I didn't want it to turn into me just burning brush all day. So I hope it takes off. It's trying to down in there. Wish I had some, I wonder if I can find some oil back here in the buildings when I run the backhoe back there to bring up here and dump on it. I think I found a jug of soybean oil. I don't remember why we have it, but my dad got some soybean oil one time, and it usually works really good for getting brush piles started. So I'll throw some of this on here, and hopefully it's soybean oil and something that doesn't blow up my face. I get you set up here. Yeah, I think that'll burn for a while now. I'll leave the backhoe here to stir it up. I'll walk back and get the pickup, and we'll probably go get feed now. Well, just got back from getting feed, and usually I go get feed around dinner time because there's a Subway in West Liberty, so I can get some dinner then. But pile's burning pretty good, so probably we need to shove all this up to keep it going. So see if I can set you up somewhere while I do that. I keep leaving. So yeah, we're grind feed, but the only real tractor we got right now for the put on the grinder is a 4020 and it's hooked up to the manure spreader. So I'm gonna scrape our feed pan out real quick and spread that before I unhook the spreader. I'd use the 4430, but we was moving equipment around with it a week or so ago, and when I turned the lights on, there was a fire started under the cap, so I gotta put a wiring harness in that this winter yet. So right now, the 986, we could use it, but we'd have to dig a bunch of stuff out of the shop to get to it, so we'll just use the 4020. So this year, 2020's corn crop, our area has been hit really hard with vomitoxin in the corn. I don't know exactly what it is. It's a form of mold that it doesn't come from the bins, it comes out of the field. I'll explain a little bit. Basically, it messes with the cattle a little bit. So I got 10 pounds of this stuff. I got to mix with the feed and then this will help bind the vomitoxin in their gut. So it's 2 pounds per ton, so I need 5 pounds of this to put in that batch of feed. So I'll get that put in there real quick. I gotta hurry because it's running now and about full, so I'll explain it in a second. So I just used my little kitchen scale we've got out here in the barn. I got 5 pounds in this bucket. Run out and dump it in the mixer and let it mix in for a while. But basically, this vomitoxin, it was it's a mold, and there's a lot of guys around here that, because of it, are having a hard time getting rid of their corn. We've got really good corn prices. I haven't checked the board of trade today, but just like when I was at the feed mill there getting this stuff, they had 502 on their board. So we've got the prices as long as we can get rid of it. DJ, while this was running, he pulled a sample out of the bin. He's gonna run it into Heritage Indie Graft and have them tested and see where we're at, because if it's under 8 parts per million, they'll take it in here. But if it's over 8, it's got to go to Marysville plant. And then it's where does it justify having somebody else truck it rather than us spending all day in the trucks. But so there's a lot of different theories on it, and the tests don't seem all that accurate. You can take one load and it'll be really high in the 20 parts per million, then the next load will be 1 part per million. So who knows how accurate everything is. And then there's a lot of guys in our area that they're just taking it to Cincinnati, down putting them directly on barges at the Ohio River just to get rid of it. So we got the prices. We're going to get a sample, and if we're good on our sample, we're going to try hauling some corn. But like I said, the theory I'm going with is they got real dry there in the summer and the corn didn't do much. And then right around Labor Day, we started getting rain, and some of the corn barely black layered this year, which barely matured. So when we were shelling the corn, instead of the ears dropping, a lot of them was standing straight up in the air yet. And then when it rained, water got down in the ears and sat there. I think that's where a lot of the vomitoxin is coming from, but I could be wrong too. So that's about full, so we'll run this bucket over and we'll dump it in. Well, I just haven't had enough lighting a fire. This was full of net wrap and feed bags. I just took them back and back to burn hole. We got the feed bags on the bed of the truck yet, the pallet and the cardboard. We'll take that back and we'll light that. But I was thinking, I haven't really shown any of our new stuff we've got. So we've been wanting one of these for a long time, and when we did the logging at the woods and over at the pastures, I was like, now's the time to buy it. We bought us a Vernig grapple bucket. It's got the close one so you can use it as a rock bucket. I've used it once cutting firewood for my house, and you can grab a log by end with just one claw and pick it up, and it's awesome having it here. It's heavy for our skid loader though. Like a 330 on tracks deer is what I'd love to have behind that grapple bucket sometime. And then our trailer with all our skid loader on it hasn't been registered and doesn't have lights that work on it, and it's actually, even the tires are getting hard to get for it that size. So I ended up buying this trailer off of a buddy of ours. He had just put it out the road and it was for sale, so we bought that and we got a pretty good price on it. So now we've got a nice trailer finally. I'm glad we got one like that, because I'm looking for a gooseneck, and I might just buy a new one whenever I do it. I'm not sure yet. And if I buy a new one, I don't really want to be running it up and down the road all winter if I got to move the skid loader around all the time, feeding and whatnot. It's nice to have a little skid loader trailer like that for that. So that way, if I do buy a nice gooseneck, it's going to be used for bales, and I can't see it being used a whole lot in the winter, but who knows what the future holds too. So That's our new toy, so I run in here, get the torch from by my wood stove, and then we'll get the Kubota and throw that stuff in the bed, and we'll go back to the woods. He gets excited. He likes going back to the woods, running alongside me. He ought to be tired. He's been running along the skid loader all day, and along the way I spread manure. Getting dark, you can see the snow and rain coming we're supposed to get. Trying to get a lot of this stuff done before that. I might try to pick up fodder bales tonight, I don't know. Might see if a buddy of mine can bring a skid loader over and run to and get them picked up. I bet we got 80, 100 of them out on the field yet, so might try to get them, but it ain't a big deal if we don't. I do want to, here in a little bit, get my impact and go over and we're going to screw some of that roofing metal down on those barns at the other farm before the 40-mile-an-hour winds. So I need to grab some stuff and see if we can get that bucket truck to start. Well, here we are up on that's the sheet we got, but it looks like we got a couple loose ones. This barn needs a new roof. Looks like they want like 25 grand to do it. I wouldn't be afraid. That part right there is the highest part where there's no overhang. That part there wouldn't scare me because I got all this. So I'm gonna buzz a couple screws in and we'll call this good. Roof's fixed. Time to get back down on the ground. Got something to do in the machine shed, but I'll use the backhoe for that. You wanna know the luck I have? This thing blew a freaking hydraulic line and we can't move it from the ground or up here. It sprayed me in the face with oil. It's got to have a safety because it's not going down, but I'm stuck. I can't even get back to the barn roof to get down. It's getting dark, so this will be interesting. Well, guys, it's the next morning. I did end up getting down out of the bucket truck last night. Called my buddies. They've got one, and they stuck the bucket up in the air, and I jumped across. Camera died on me while I was up there, so didn't get to show any of that, but the bucket truck, when I went and done chores there this morning, it was still up in the air, hadn't slacked off any, and I looked a little bit in the dark the other night and couldn't find a safety release, so I don't know how I'm going to get that down on the ground yet, but that'll be the end of this video. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.